I saw your hands tremble as you held the phone earlier today, searching for a signal, a glimmer of light amidst the fog that has settled over your soul. I was there, at the exact moment when the weight of the world seemed to concentrate on your shoulders, making the simple act of breathing an exhausting task. You came here because your heart, though wounded, still holds a spark that propels you to seek answers. You came seeking confirmation, a breath of life to convince you to continue praying and not to lose heart today, even when the silence around you seems to scream that the time of waiting is over. I brought you to this meeting not to give you a distant sermon, but to hold your face and look into your eyes, validating every tear that fell while no one was watching. Many times, you have wondered if I truly hear the sound of your voice, or if your pleas are lost in the emptiness of the early mornings. I tell you that not a single word of yours has fallen to the ground. There is a sacred mystery surrounding your perseverance, a secret the world doesn't understand, but which I wish to reveal to you on this journey. Just as the seed works in the darkness of the earth before breaking through the surface, your prayer is moving structures that your human eyes cannot yet perceive. Why has discouragement knocked on your door just now, when the horizon is beginning to change color? There is something reserved for you that will only be delivered if you remain steadfast, and I am here to sustain you in this last breath. If this word of mine is finding refuge in your soul and warming your heart now, speak to me sincerely. Tell me in the comments below what your name is, where in this world you are, and what time the clock shows in this moment of intimacy with me. I want to see your face through your story. Let your soul unburden itself and release what is trapped. Write with all the strength of your spirit, Lord my God, I am here. I registered because I love you and want to hear from you. May this comment be your cry, your sign that you have decided not to retreat before the storm. I invite you to walk with me until the very last second of this message. At the end, I will give you a clear answer that your heart has been begging to receive. There is a specific phrase, a code of faith, that I will whisper directly to your heart when we reach the end of this encounter. Those who remain and write this phrase as a seal of covenant will see the floodgates of my grace opening in areas that seemed dry. You are not here by chance. The enemy of your soul wants you to give up today, but I am here to tell you that your tomorrow has already begun to be drawn by my hands. But tell me, have you ever felt that your strength ran out exactly at the moment when the answer was at the door? Tell me honestly, what was the moment of the day today when the silence hurt you the most? If your heart felt the touch of my embrace, leave your sign of love on this video and share this mystery with someone who, like you, is about to let go of hope. Write in the comments your word of surrender for this moment, my refuge. Pay attention, because there is still something profound that I need to show you about what happens while you think nothing is changing. I know there are days when hope seems to have an unbearable weight, as if it were a burden you no longer have the strength to carry. I saw when you entered that kitchen late yesterday afternoon, and the silence of the house seemed to scream louder than any noise. You looked at the empty chairs, or perhaps at that bill on the table that you still don't know how to pay, and felt a knot tighten in your throat. The weariness you feel now is not just physical. It's not something a night's sleep can solve. It's a weariness of the soul, an exhaustion of someone who has planted with tears and has not yet seen the green sprouts emerging from the dry earth. You secretly wonder if the time for your harvest has been forgotten by me, or if the invitation to the table has already expired. You spent years caring for everyone, being the pillar of a family, a word of comfort to friends, and the silent strength that keeps things in place. But what now? Who cares for your heart when the lights go out? I see your vulnerability, the one you hide behind a forced smile so as not to worry others. I felt the cold that ran through your body when discouragement whispered that your effort was in vain. The sky sometimes seems like bronze, impenetrable, as if your prayers hit the ceiling and returned to your lap, cold and unanswered. But listen to what your Father tells you. Tiredness is a human condition, but giving up is a suggestion of the abyss that you should not accept. Often, the delay is not a no, but a preparation so that you can bear the weight of the glory that is to come. If your blessing arrived when you wanted it, perhaps you wouldn't have the strength to hold on to it. I am working on your resilience. Remember what my word says in Galatians chapter 6, verse 9. Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Writing this on parchment was easy, but I know that living it in the daily routine, amidst weary legs and the uncertainty of tomorrow, demands a faith that burns like fire. You grew weary because you tried to carry the calendar under your arm, trying to control every second, every deadline, every result. But time is mine, and faithfulness is yours. When you feel your heart ceasing to beat with the force of expectation, surrender that exhaustion to me. Don't hide your pain from me. I prefer your raw truth, your sincere tears on the living room floor, to a memorized prayer that doesn't touch the depths of your spirit. I am here to renew your strength, to exchange your heavy burden for my lightness. Have you ever felt like you reached your limit, just when everyone around you thought you were the strongest person in the world? If this moment of truth brought relief to your heart, say amen, and share this light with that friend you know also cries silently. Enroll your heart in this journey with us, so that you never again feel alone in the desert. Write in the comments the word that defines your decision today: I remain. I haven't finished talking to you yet. There is something I do in the dark while you rest that will change the way you see your tomorrow. Daughter, as you contemplate the horizon of your waiting, realize that each gesture of faithfulness is a planting that does not escape my eyes. You have been tested in silence, but silence is also the soil where roots grow deep. Sometimes your heart feels the desire to overflow, to reciprocate the peace you find here, in these meetings we have arranged. If you feel that this word is the nourishment your soul needed, I invite you to a gesture of trust. If it is possible for you, only if your heart burns with this desire, transform your gratitude into a seed of love through this channel. Consider my immense love and the sacrifice of my Son Jesus, and contribute through the link I left for you in the description of this video and also in the first pinned comment. There, you will find the place where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated before me, the Creator of all things. You can contribute any amount that fits your soul. If you want a different amount, just type the desired amount and offer it. Remember, only what is at peace in your heart. I receive every gesture with infinite love, for what is little to you may be much to the one who receives this word of life. It doesn't matter the outward value, but the sincerity with which you give before the altar. Whoever decides to sow with a sincere heart, don't forget to register your name and city along with your contribution. On the first day of the following month, in a unique and special video on our channel and page, Divine Love, the Voice of God, your name will be remembered, mentioned in gratitude, and covered by divine blessings released in fervent prayer for my house. For it is written, each one should give what he has decided in his heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 7. Every offering made in faith is a precious seed before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to make any of them bear abundant fruit. I see everything you do in secret, and I will reward you in the sight of all. Stay until the end of this message, because I still want to touch your heart with my gentle and delicate voice. Don't give up now, for what I have prepared is greater than your pain. If your spirit felt embraced by this call, tap the like button on this video and allow more souls to be reached by this mystery. Subscribe to this journey so that my voice may be your compass at each dawn. Share this seed with that heart you know is about to crumble. Tell me, if I were sitting beside you right now, what would you give me with the most joy? Write your covenant word for this moment in the comments, my all. But don't close your heart yet, for what I will reveal to you next is what happens behind the scenes in heaven while you bend your knees. You close your eyes, but your mind continues to run in circles, like a caged animal searching for a way out it cannot find. I see when you turn to your left, then to your right, and the sheet feels too heavy, as if it carries all the uncertainties of your next month. There's a cruel vulnerability in the dark, when the day's distractions disappear and you're left alone with your greatest fears. I saw the trembling in your hands when you turned off the light, and that question about whether everything will really be all right echoed off the walls of your room like silent thunder. I know the tightness in your chest that arises when the clock strikes 3 in the morning and the world seems to be at peace except for your heart. But listen to what your Father has to say to you in this moment of stillness. While you are paralyzed by doubt, I am in full motion. You see the hours ticking by and feel that time is running against you, but I am the Lord of time and of all seasons. While your body seeks a rest that your soul does not yet allow, I am visiting hearts you cannot even imagine. I am moving the pen of the one who has the power to sign that document you so desperately await. I am whispering your name in the ears of people who can open doors that have been locked for years. Your role now is not to understand how I do it, but to rest in the one who has all the power to do it. Your sleep is not a pause in my work. It is the space I use to organize what your hands cannot touch. You don't need to stay awake to ensure tomorrow happens, for I am your eternal guardian. Remember what I recorded for your comfort in the book of Psalms, chapter 121, verse 4. Surely he who watches over Israel will neither slumber nor sleep. If I guard an entire nation without closing my eyes for a single second, do you really think I would leave your life unprotected while you try to regain your strength? I am behind the scenes of your story, stitching together the details that your limited vision cannot yet grasp. I am working on those conversations that seemed lost, changing the tone of voice of those who hurt you, and preparing the ground for your restoration. That resource that seemed scarce and that took your breath away this afternoon. I have already given the order for it to reach you through paths that human logic cannot explain. Let my love cradle your sleep, and let my peace be your only blanket tonight. Do not allow discouragement to steal your right to rest, for when the sun rises, my mercy will have been renewed over your house once more. You can close your eyes now, because I am awake for you. Tell me one thing with all the sincerity of your soul. In the depths of your silence, what is the thought that most tries to steal your sleep and your peace today? If this revelation has brought real relief to your weary mind, show your gratitude for this encounter and share this peace with someone you know who is also facing sleepless nights. Enroll your heart in this journey so that my voice is your first thought upon waking. Write here in the comments the word that seals your trust in my invisible care, Sentinel, but remain attentive, because now that your spirit has begun to calm down, I have a special gift to give you, something that will accompany you every step of the way on this journey. I see when your eyes open, and the weight of responsibilities tries to steal the peace I gave you while you slept. It is in those first hours, when the world is still silent and the smell of coffee begins to fill your kitchen, that your soul most yearns for guidance, for a compass to point the way even before you put on your shoes. I know you desire a constancy that the rush of life tries to snatch from you, a moment when my voice is not just a lost whisper, but a living companion beside you at the table. If your heart feels the sincere desire to go deeper with me, understand that I have prepared a path to strengthen your steps every day. I have left you a gift in the form of a journey, which I wrote with much love and care for all my beloved daughters and sons. The digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. This book was prepared to be your daily remedy on weary mornings and your faithful companion in the early hours when sleep eludes you. It is ready to accompany you day after day in silence and deep intimacy, revealing secrets that only the two of us share. Access to this journey of care is in the link in the description of this video and also in the comment I left pinned for you. And listen to what your Father tells you. If today is not possible for you, do not condemn yourself and do not let sadness enter. Remain here with me, immersed in this word, because I will also sustain you and carry you through this message. And so that your heart may rest and you may have no worries, soon after you register, access will arrive simply in the email you registered. All the instructions will be there explained step by step so that you can begin your journey of renewal with me without any hindrance. For it is written, "Let me hear of your loving kindness in the morning, for in you I trust. Show me the way I should go, for to you I lift up my soul." Psalms chapter 143, verse 8. This devotional is my invitation for your faith to be not just a fleeting moment, but a firm rock where you can rest your face. If this opportunity has touched your soul, leave your sign of affection in this encounter and share this light with someone who also needs a safe haven. Sign up for this journey so that my voice may reach you every day. Tell me, in the depths of your silence, what is your heart pleading with God for today? Write here in the comments the word that defines your request for guidance. Guide me. Now take a deep breath and feel my embrace, for there is still a scene from your life that I want to show you. Something that happened when you thought you were completely alone. You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? That moment, around midday, when the sun is outside shining for the world, but inside your kitchen the air seems denser, almost difficult to breathe. I saw when you placed only one plate on the table, and the sound of the fork hitting the ceramic echoed like thunder in that silent room. There's a bitter taste that doesn't come from the seasoning, but from that absence that insists on sitting beside you. You looked at the chair in front of you, and for a brief second your mind traveled to a time when that table was full of voices, laughter, and plans that the wind seems to have carried away. The loneliness at lunchtime has a grey hue that few people can describe, but I see it in every detail. I was there when you felt that tightness in your chest, and the food seemed to lose its taste, making it difficult to swallow. I saw when your hands, marked by time and honest work, rested on the tablecloth and you let out a long sigh, silently asking yourself, "How long, Lord?" That is the weight of your humanity, daughter. The slight tremor in your fingers as you hold the glass of water, the feeling that the walls are closing in, and the memory of someone who is no longer there to share bread with you. You try to be strong. You quickly wipe the corners of your eyes so that no one notices. But before me, you don't need masks. I sit in that empty chair that hurts you so much to look at. Many times you think that your prayer only has value when you are on your knees at the altar. But I tell you that your deepest cry was the one you couldn't put into words while washing the dishes this morning. That lost look out the window, watching the street movement while your heart cried out for help, reached my ears like a sacred song. I didn't leave you alone in that kitchen. I am the invisible guest who gathers every drop of your tears and transforms them into dew of hope. You may be alone physically, but my presence fills every inch of that space you call home. For it is written, "The Lord is near to the broken-hearted and saves the crushed in spirit." Psalms chapter 34, verse 18. Understand well what I am telling you. My closeness is greatest precisely when your heart seems to be in pieces on the floor of that room. I do not turn away from your pain. I envelop myself in it to heal you from within. This discouragement that tries to convince you that your life now boils down to this silence is a lie. I am preparing a new time where your table will once again be a place of celebration, not lament. But for now, let me be your companion. Have you ever felt your soul cry out for a hug at the very moment when there is no one around to touch you? If this truth has touched the most sensitive point of your heart now, leave your sign of love in this video and share this comfort with another woman you know who also faces the silence of an empty house. Write her name in this chain of faith so that my voice may be her daily nourishment. Tell me, in the depths of your silence, what is your heart pleading with God for today? Write in the comments the word that defines what you receive from me at this table: consolation. But don't look away from my gaze now, for there is still a mystery about your persistence that I need to reveal to you, something that will change the strength of your knees. Have you ever noticed how time seems to drag on when your soul is awake, waiting for an answer that stubbornly refuses to cross the horizon? I saw it when you pressed your forehead against the cold window pane last night, watching the movement outside, the lights of the cars passing by like blurs of a life that continues to spin, while you feel trapped in a never-ending waiting station. I felt the stiffness in your knees when you tried to get up from that armchair, and the weight of doubt whispered in your ear that perhaps it was time to stop knocking on my door. You think your insistence tires me, but listen to what your Father reveals to you now. Persistence is not human stubbornness. It is a profound spiritual frequency that shakes the structures of the invisible and moves my hands in a way that your logic could never comprehend. There is a sacred mystery in prayer that refuses to die in the face of silence. You look at the iron gates that block your path and see only heavy metal and unbreakable locks, but each time you bend your heart in my presence, a link in that chain weakens. Your perseverance is like the constant dripping of water that over time pierces the hardest rock. I am not ignoring you. I am strengthening you so that when the gate opens, you will have the authority to pass through it. The discouragement you feel now is a sign that your flesh is reaching its limit. But it is precisely there that my spirit takes control and begins to accomplish the impossible. Remember what I have recorded to guide your steps in the gospel, according to Luke chapter 18, verse 1. Then he told them a parable about their need to pray always and not to give up. I didn't say these words just to fill the scriptures, but as a survival code for your soul. When I ask you to pray always, it is because your connection with me is what keeps your spiritual oxygen flowing. Never giving up is the secret of winners who understand that victory is not for the fastest, but for those who decide not to let go of my hand, even when weariness seems to have won the battle. Every time you say, "Lord, I still trust," even with a choked voice and tears soaking the pillow, a decree of liberation is signed in the heavenly courts. You are moving my kingdom with your faithfulness. Don't look at the size of the wall. Look at the faithfulness of the one who promised you the land. I am unlocking what was bound, clearing the path that was obstructed, and preparing the banquet that will be served before your enemies. Your persistence is the key that turns the lock of your promise. Tell me something, with all the transparency of your being. What is the iron gate in your life that has most resisted your prayers lately? If this word has brought new vigor to your weary hands, leave your sign of faith in this encounter and share this strength with someone you know is about to abandon their post of prayer. Inscribe their name in this covenant so that my voice may be their shield in every battle. Tell me, in the depths of your silence, what word would your soul shout if it had only one chance before God? Write here in the comments the word that declares its authority over what is blocked. Unlock. But don't let your attention wander, for what I want to tell you next will reveal the sacred value of that tear you thought was in vain. I saw when your words dried up this afternoon, like a stream lost under the heat of a relentless desert. You prepared to pray, sought that quiet corner in your room, but when you opened your mouth, nothing came out. Just a heavy sigh, a pressure in your chest, and that stubborn tear that trickled slowly, tracing a path of pain across your face. I saw the moment you simply rested your head against the cold wall, closed your eyes, and let the silence speak for you. To the world, you might have seemed defeated, someone who had given up the fight. But to me, that was one of the most profound moments of our communion. I'm not looking for pretty rhymes or rehearsed phrases that just slip out of your mouth. I seek the truth that overflows from your broken heart. You feel you have failed because you couldn't articulate a loud and firm Amen. But listen to what your Father tells you. I am the interpreter of your tears. Each drop that fell on your carpet or wet the fabric of your blouse carried with it a code, a request, a plea that I read with the clarity of an open book. When you lack the strength to ask, your weeping cries out for justice, for healing, and for provision. Your tears are liquid prayers that reach my throne with an intensity that words often cannot convey. Do not be ashamed of your silent groan, for it is proof that your soul is still alive and beating before me. Remember what is sealed in my eternal truth, in the letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 26. Likewise, the Spirit helps us in our weakness, for we do not know what to pray for as we ought, but the Spirit himself intercedes for us with groanings too deep for words. When you lose your voice, my own spirit unites with yours, translating your weariness into a celestial language. You are never closer to me than when you feel most incapable. It is in your utter weakness that my power finds the perfect space to manifest and rewrite your story. I keep each of your tears in a sacred wineskin. None of them are wasted. They are the seeds watering the soil where your victory will sprout. On that afternoon when you felt the weight of the silence in the laundry room, or in that instant when the sun set and you felt small before the immensity of your problems, I was gathering your pain to transform it into a pearl. Your discouragement today is the fuel for your testimony tomorrow. Do not fear the silence, for it is in it that I work most. Tell me something. Now that your chest seems a little lighter, in the depths of your silence, what is the secret that you only have the courage to tell me through your tears? If you feel this revelation has brought balm to your open wounds, leave your sign of affection on this video and send this comfort to that person you know who has also lost their words in the face of struggle. Write your name on this journey of love so that my voice may be your refuge at all times. Tell me, now that everything has been said, What word would your soul shout if it had only one chance before God? Write here in the comments the word that seals your trust in my understanding, you know. But do not remove your heart from my presence now, for what I will show you next is the discreet sign that I have already sent into your life, and that you have not yet been able to notice. At this moment in our journey, I invite you to sharpen your spiritual ears, for you have been searching for grandiose signs, for thunder that shakes the earth, and for slivers of light that blind the eyes, while I have been speaking to you through the most discreet details of your routine. I saw you wake up today around 5 in the morning and feel that shiver of cold on your arms, even before you lifted your feet from under the covers. You looked at the ceiling of your room and let out a sigh that carried all the anxiety of the week that is beginning. You search for an answer written in letters of fire in the sky, but I want you to pay attention to the little bird that landed on your windowsill yesterday afternoon and sang persistently, even when the wind was blowing strongly. That wasn't just a movement of nature. It was my silent way of telling you that life continues to pulsate and that I am still in control. You have been so distracted by the noise of your problems, by the notifications on your cell phone, and by the voices of those who don't know your worth, that you have failed to notice the small miracles that I have scattered along your path. I stopped what I was doing in the kingdom to tell you this now. The sign you so desperately seek will not come as an explosion, but as a whisper of peace that will flood your heart when you least expect it. Perhaps it will be that call from someone you haven't spoken to in years, or that word you'll read in a street advertisement while you're on the bus, tired and returning home. I am moving the pieces so subtly that, if you don't calm your soul, you might think it was just a coincidence. But you and I know that in my kingdom coincidences don't exist. What exists is my hand acting in secret. For it is written in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 19, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? I will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." Do you perceive the depth of this question, I ask you? I'm already doing the new thing. It has already sprouted. It has already begun to manifest in the spiritual world. But you are still bound to what has died, to what has dried up, to the desert that is left behind. I am opening paths where logic says there is only sand and thirst. I am making rivers of provision spring forth in places that everyone said would be barren forever in your life. Even before the dawn of tomorrow, I will give you a small confirmation, something that only you and I will understand, so that you may know that your prayer has pierced the clouds. Do not be discouraged today, for what is to come is as real as the ground you stand on now. You have been faithful in the little things, in the silence, in the unseen pain, and I am preparing the stage for your honor. The desert is not your final destination. It is merely the place where I am shaping your character, so that you may know how to handle the abundance that is coming. When you feel the next breath of wind on your face, close your eyes and receive it like a kiss from your Father. I am with you. What do you feel has changed within your heart since we began our conversation in this meeting today? If this sign that I promised you has brought a new brightness to your eyes, leave your sign of gratitude in this video and send this mystery to that soul you know is living in the blindness of despair. Enroll your heart in this sacred journey so that my voice may be your guide in every small choice. Tell me, in the depths of your silence, what is your heart pleading with God for today? Write here in the comments the word that seals your spiritual vision for the new thing I'm doing, revelation. But don't stray from my path yet, for now I will show you the reward of those who, like you, decided not to retreat even when all seemed lost. You have no idea what happened in the courts of my kingdom at the very moment when, even with trembling legs and a heavy heart, you decided not to retreat today. I saw when the temptation to give up sat beside you on the sofa, whispering that your effort was useless and that God's time had forgotten your address. But you, in a gesture of silent bravery that the angels stopped to observe, simply closed your eyes and murmured my name. This small act of resistance, this yes given amidst weariness, unlocked a succession of blessings that are already on their way to your home. Your reward is not just a passing relief, but a complete restoration of everything that discouragement tried to steal from you in these last few months. I am preparing a banquet for you, and it is not just any banquet, it is a bountiful table, set before those who doubted your faith and mocked your waiting. I saw the nights you had to swallow your tears to avoid collapsing in front of your children or grandchildren. I felt the weight on your shoulders, that physical pain that feels like an invisible burden, the result of carrying the worries of an entire world on your back. Well, the time for carrying that burden is over today. The reward for those who choose to remain steadfast is my peace, the peace that surpasses all understanding, and that will guard your heart and mind from this moment on. I will restore the sparkle to your eyes and the strength to your steps, so that you may walk through your land with the authority of one who knows she is loved by the King. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 126, verses 5 and 6, "Those who sow in tears will reap with joy. He who goes out weeping, carrying precious seed, will surely return with joy, bringing his sheaves with him." You have been that person, daughter. You have gone out to your battlefield every day, your face bathed in tears, but without sowing the seed of prayer. And now I give you my word, you will return. You will return to the center of your joy, bringing in your arms the results of what you planted in secret. What was once a cause for lament will now be your greatest testimony. Your harvest will be so great that you will overflow and reach the lives of all those around you. The reward I give you today is clarity. You will understand the reason for every no I gave you, and the reason for every silence that distressed you. Everything was training for what I am about to place in your hands. Do not fear the future, for I am already there, organizing your victory. Your perseverance was the key that unlocked the treasure of my grace. Now take a deep breath and receive what is rightfully yours by inheritance. The desert is behind you and the promised land is before your eyes. Tell me something. With all the peace that now floods your being, if you could see the table I am preparing for you now, what would be the first thing you would thank me for? If this promise of reward made your heart leap with joy, leave your sign of gratitude in this video and share this hope with someone who is still weeping in the field of sowing. Enroll your name in this family of faith so that my voice may guide you to the day of your great feast. Tell me, in the depths of your silence, what is your heart pleading with God for today? Write in the comments the word that seals your blessed harvest, reward. But don't leave my presence now, for we have reached the most sacred moment of our encounter, where I will give you the final key that will change the course of your story. Now that the shadows of discouragement are beginning to dissipate and the light of my hope finds its permanent dwelling in your soul, I want you to understand the importance of this journey we have traveled together. You came here seeking relief from your weariness, and I gave you an armor of faith. You came seeking a sign, and I showed you that the sign is me dwelling within you, sustaining every beat of your heart and every breath of life that leaves your lungs. This was not just a video message, it was a meeting scheduled in the court of heaven to decree the end of your season of pain and the beginning of your time to sing. Remember everything we have talked about. I saw your pain in the empty kitchen, your weariness in the sleepless nights, and your courage in persisting even when words failed you. Nothing was in vain. Every detail of your life is written in the palms of my hands. Now, I want to give you the answer I promised at the beginning, that phrase that should be your shield and your sword from now on. When the world tries to diminish you, when weariness knocks on your door again, or when doubt whispers that you won't succeed, you will raise your head and declare with all the authority of heaven, "I can do all things through him who strengthens me." This is the key, daughter. This is the truth that will unlock the doors that still insist on remaining closed. Write this phrase in the comments right now as an act of unwavering faith, as a response to the touch I gave your heart today. By writing it, you are sealing a covenant with me, declaring that your strength does not come from you, but from the source that never runs dry. Let the world see that you have found your resting place in me. Don't stop listening to my voice. I still have much to tell you, many mysteries to reveal, and many paths to open. Stay connected with me through the messages of this channel. Immerse yourself in the list of prayers I have prepared for you, for each one is another step on your ladder to victory. I will be here tomorrow and always, waiting for you for another moment of intimacy. Go in peace, for your Father has already taken care of everything. Rest in my embrace now, for I am your beginning and your end, and my grace is all you need to overcome.